What's up? What's up? Oh man. What's up, YouTube? Hey, I'm gonna do this video real quick, man. My cousins, waiting on my cousins and everything, man. Diddy's Thanksgiving. Today is the day after Thanksgiving. I want to check out what Diddy did. I ain't had the mic on. Start all over. What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? My glasses broke. I gotta get some glasses. Check this out. I want to do this video real quick, man. Real quick. Diddy's Thanksgiving. Diddy was in jail Thanksgiving, even though his son talking about something. He gonna be home by the holidays. Well, one day of the holidays is gone. But check it out, man. Diddy suffers meltdown. Thanksgiving was too much paying to be left alone. He was paying to be left alone. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's see what Diddy done did for his Thanksgiving, y'all. Check this out, check this out.
Y'all, the streets are saying that Diddy suffered a Thanksgiving meltdown in Fort Dix, and he had to basically bankroll Thanksgiving dinner for everyone because people are saying that they're not bowing down as quick or as much as Diddy would have hoped. Y'all, not the king of the streets being reduced to being shaken down for money and food. Baby, we love to see it. Now, if you guys don't know what happened, Diddy, of course, is in jail. Diddy is also obsessed as being looked at the big man, big dog on the block. So he's doing everything he can to change the narrative. What is the narrative? Well, he is a convicted sex crime offender. He lied a lot. He was caught drinking in jail,
toilet.
and he may or may not have had his phone privileges and his commissary privileges suspended. Moreover, Diddy has been going out of his way when people are talking about the way like Fort Dix is crazy. They be having crazy shower gangbangs in there, right? And I be shouting out, gang, gang. Do you gang bang, right? They have all that stuff that's going on in Fort Dix. They're saying that Diddy wanted Fort Dix because there are connections through various dick gangs, various religious organizations he has ties to that promised him safety in jail. The only problem is people are looking at Diddy as maybe he might be food. Maybe if we lean on this man like another bag of wop, maybe if we lean on him, we can get a very Merry Christmas for our children, okay? Now, these are just rumors. We won't know what actually happens unless Diddy shows up with a black eye, but Diddy is doing his best to present to the outside world that he is in charge. He's this, he's that. Unfortunately, he is trying to buy his way into friendships. Diddy posted this, right? He literally posted that I gave 1,000 inmates Thanksgiving dinner. Now, hear me out. Why are they giving the inmates Thanksgiving dinner? I mean, it's Fort Dix. I assume it's low level. Nobody murdered anybody. Now, I don't think Diddy I think they should give him a bag of saltines, unsalted saltines, because you know the salted ones, they hit sometimes. So you give them a bag of unsalted saltines for him to eat for his dinner. But the rest of the prisoners, why are they not giving those people turkey, stuffing, cranberry? I mean, at the very least, my tax dollars can pay for that. But they are saying that Diddy suffered a meltdown because even though he did pay for this, even though he felt, maybe if you can believe that he was above the commissary food, that he was above. If you guys remember from like a lot of testimony and what a lot of people wrote, Diddy has this weird fixation on food. He likes when no one else can eat, where everybody else is struggling, everybody else is hustling, according to the testimony, and then he's eating steak, fettuccineville in front of their faces, okay? Everybody has to work, and we saw that in Making of the Band, the way he would sit there and eat the cheesecake while they were like starving. So, needless to say, if the reports can be believed, Diddy has a weird connection to food. He uses it to control. He uses it to dominate, but he also uses it to feel superior. They're saying that prison is the great equalizer. Maybe whatever Diddy can get out of that commissary, everybody can buy their way out the commissary. And what they can't, they can work a few extra hours or get money sent to them on the books, okay? They're saying that Diddy suffered a meltdown because the reality that he's spending another Thanksgiving and Christmas when his lawyers, another Thanksgiving and Christmas when his lawyers promised him, even the first time he wouldn't have to spend holidays in jail. When his lawyers promised him that even when he was not guilty on RICO and whatever, that he would, right? That he would be out before the holidays. They thought he was going to be out for July 4th. They said it has really, really hit home that he is in prison, that his legacy is destroyed, that his name is dirt, and even if he gets out, the only people that are going to stand by him are the losers that were standing by him during the trial. But again, Diddy don't want that. See, Diddy wants to be on a Rock Nation level of respect. He wants sexy. He wants grown. He wants sophisticated. He wants elite. He wants beautiful faces, tight bodies, and the men that bankrolls are almost as big as him. They're saying that Diddy is disgusted that everybody that supported him during the trial, he would never associate with outside the trial. He would never, and I'm talking about the bloggers, the commenters, he would never be seen with them. He would never care. He's actually embarrassed, and he thinks it's hurting his comeback that through his legacy of what happened in the trial, he was literally associated with trash, and he was the king of trash. Why that might have gotten off, we do know that Diddy does seem to be a bit ungrateful. And being in jail, knowing that all these famous people that once begged to come to his parties, that kissed his butt, they didn't even wish him a happy Thanksgiving. Nobody has put money on the books. Nobody has come seeing him. And it makes him realize that he is going to have to work 12 times harder once he gets out to actually rehab his image. And you know what? We love to see it. Here's what I say Diddy should be worried about. If you couldn't even make it a month into Fort Dix, how are you going to make it on your probation? How are you going to threaten anybody? Because according to the testimony and what we've heard on the street, they say that's the way Diddy moves. I'm very honestly curious about how this is going to happen, because Diddy liked to lean on people. He liked to threaten people. He liked to make people feel unsafe. He liked to let people, and I could snap my fingers to the point of, remember when the baby oil bandits jumped on Ray J? I know. We'll talk about Ray J in a different video. Jumped on Ray J on Halloween. He raised his kids with that mentality. They run these streets. How's he going to go back to that? He can't even make a money transfer without them knowing. Right? He can't, like, if any woman or man says he laid their hands on him, hired an escort, laid hands on them, threatened them, tried to buy them off, did something that is illegal, he's right back in jail. He didn't even make it 1 month without that toilet wine. Anyway, remember when Diddy was like, Yana, it's the first time I've been sober in 25 years. I said, not 25 years. You got, most of your children are under 25. But when he said that, I just imagine him being like, Yana, this is the first time I've been sober in 3 weeks. Because I think, like, when you break the sober, doesn't the timeline start over? Anyway, listen. They said Sean Combs' fellow inmates were expecting a bleak Thanksgiving, but it all changed with a well-organized and well-funded plan by Sean Carter himself. Diddy will do anything it's funny you're doing more for the inmates than you ever did for the kids in Harlem, and I don't want to hear about that charter school, because if you read about that charter school, it's a big no. Anyway, Diddy, through his rep, so we don't even know if it's true, because his rep also said he wasn't 100% caught drinking, and that he hadn't been disciplined, and that he was making a call to the New York Times, so we can't believe anything the rep says. Diddy, through his rep, that do be lying to him, tells TMZ he worked with an internal group called the Bankroll Bosses. He and others bought food from the commissary and spent 2 days preparing it and distributed it to every housing unit in Fort Dix. Diddy told us, Thanksgiving to me is about making sure the people eat. Everybody misses their family. People get depressed during the holidays. We just wanted to come together as a family and do our thing. They said prison typically do bare bones Thanksgiving, running a minimum in and out service. B.I., a former gang leader who helped organize the initiative, says, we cooked the food and sent it to the buildings. Enough for about 200 people each building. It took 2 days to prep everything. Now, that's a beautiful thing, but can I just, hold on a second. Oh my God, hold on. Sorry. That's a beautiful thing, but can I just say that? Here's the thing. They said there were obstacles. They had no stoves, no microwaves, and inmates preparing the food used ID cards for cutting. How did you get no stove and no microwaves? How did you make the turkey? They had turkey roast with trimmings, mashed potatoes, corn, and dessert. Diddy sees this seems to be acclimating. I've heard that's not true. They said there's a lot of misinterpretations about prison. There's a strong brotherhood. We look out for each other. It's nothing but positive thing. It's like a bit of home in a dark place. Well, since you're doing so well, then why don't you stay there? Anyway, here's the thing I want to say, because I think that Diddy is just taking credit for everything that the inmates put together. Because listen to what they said. They said he worked with the internal group, the bankroll bosses. He and others bought food from the commissary. So Diddy wasn't the only one. So you didn't bankroll this entire thing. You just pitched in. Typical Diddy, taking credit for what other people are doing. They prepared it and distributed it to every housing unit in Fort Dix. So shout out to the bankroll bosses for actually giving people a Thanksgiving. I ain't giving Diddy no credit because I actually want to see how much he actually contributed, because we all know Diddy will lie and act like he changing the world and he ain't doing nothing. Anyway, Diddy organized and bankrolls. Did you pay for all 1,000 meals? I doubt it. Anyway, more lies coming from the king of lies. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. But the streets are saying that Diddy is not doing well in jail. And we'd love to see it. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
That's crazy. That is crazy. So let me get this straight. A group of people put this Thanksgiving together for the jailbirds, right? And Diddy trying to take all the credit and like he did everything. Ain't mentioning the brotherhood people. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And that sounds about right. A lot of this stuff you can't believe, man. A lot of this stuff you cannot believe, especially when it comes down to Diddy. Diddy haven't done a hit. He ain't done nothing but make a lot of different connections. His kid, if that's the case, why his kid's not on? I don't know, man. That's not for me to say. Anyway, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.